Good evening and welcome to the news at 10. His Majesty King Abdullah, accompanied by His Royal Highness Crown Prince Hussein, inaugurated the 2018 Special Operations Forces Exhibition SOFEX in its 12th edition. The event represents the biggest defense exhibition focused on special operations and national security in the Middle East and North Africa. His Majesty and the Crown Prince watched an exercise of paratrooper landings and the cordoning of an area carried out by the Rapid Response Unit with backing from F-16 fighter jets to simulate an evacuation of hostages from a terrorist group. The King and the Crown Prince also toured the fair, which comprised local, regional and international companies, and listened to a briefing by representatives on their industries. His Majesty toured the King Abdullah II Design and Development Bureau, CADB, and was briefed on machinery manufactured by the Bureau, as well as research projects which CADB implements jointly with universities. They also toured the pavilions of key local and international companies and checked firsthand on their products in the field of manufacturing industrial equipment. The four-day event, which convenes biannually, brings together more than 350 companies from 35 Arab and foreign countries to showcase the state-of-the-art innovations. On the sidelines of SOFEX, His Majesty the King held separate meetings with Indonesian Defense Minister Riamizard Riyakudu and Greek Defense Minister Panos Kamenos on ways of promoting military and defense ties. Regional and international efforts to fight terrorism within a holistic approach were also discussed. His Majesty also held a series of meetings with military and security leaders from Germany, the United States and Indonesia. The King also met with economic leaders representing a number of major defense and military companies participating in SOFEX. During the meetings, opportunities to build economic and military partnerships were discussed. Prime Minister and Minister of Defense Hani al-Mulki held a series of meetings with defense ministers participating in SOFEX that focused on means of enhancing cooperation and fighting terrorism. In a meeting with United Arab Emirates Minister of State for Defense Affairs Mohammed Bawardi, Mulki highlighted Jordan's effective role in the war on terrorism within a holistic approach. The Indonesian Defense Minister, in a separate meeting with Mulki, expressed satisfaction in taking part in SOFEX, where a memorandum of understanding was signed between the Indonesian Ministry of Defense and the King Abdullah Design and Development Bureau to benefit from its advanced expertise in the defense field. The Prime Minister also met with Greek Defense Minister Panos Kamenos, in which he expressed the kingdom's keenness to boost relations with Greece bilaterally and through Athens' membership in the EU. And in a meeting with Nigerian Defense Minister Mansour Mohammed, the two sides discussed means of enhancing cooperation in all fields, with Mulki noting that several Jordanian delegations from the private and public sectors had recently visited Nigeria to discuss areas of joint cooperation. Minister of Foreign Affairs and Expatriates Ayman Safadi said Jordan values the strong ties with Germany and is keen on developing cooperation with Berlin in the economic, investment and defense fields. In a joint press conference in Germany with the leaders of the Joint Executive Council of 42 parliamentarians from the government coalition parties, Safadi stressed the kingdom's appreciation of Berlin's aid. Safadi also discussed developments in the region, especially the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, the Syria crisis and its repercussions on the region, in addition to the war on terrorism. He said that breaking the deadlock in the Middle East peace process and creating prospects for progress towards the two-state solution is a priority that must be sought by the international community, warning of the consequences of the continued absence of a solution.
Our position against recognition of Jerusalem as capital of Israel is very, very well known. What we're urging for now is to make sure that we move forward with a view to, again, moving to a two-state solution, instill some hope. There is an absence of political horizon right now that's extremely dangerous. As you know, in Jordan we are host to 1.3 million Syrians. That's about 20% of the population. That's a tremendous burden that we continue to proudly shoulder, because we believe that investment in refugees is investment in our collective security. And I just want to say that we will continue to work together with our friends and our allies in Germany. Germany's support is key.
And just a while ago, the United States announced it is withdrawing from the Iran nuclear agreement. U.S. President Donald Trump made the announcement, saying he was reimposing the highest level of economic sanctions on Iran and pulling the U.S. out of the international agreement. The 2015 deal, worked out by the U.S., 5 other international powers and Iran, eased sanctions on Iran in exchange for Tehran limiting its nuclear program. The move by Trump is a snub to European allies such as France, Britain and Germany, who are also part of the deal and tried hard to convince Trump to preserve it. The top European Union diplomat Federica Mogherini called on the international community to stick to the Iran nuclear deal despite Trump's announcement he was pulling out. The EU is determined to preserve it, and together with the rest of the international community, we will preserve it, this deal, Mogherini said. And back here at home, Her Majesty Queen Rania, chairperson of the Jordan River Foundation, JRF, expressed her gratitude to major donors, including organizations, corporations and individuals that have supported JRF this year, commending their crucial role in building the capacity of Jordanian communities. Speaking at a luncheon held in honor of JRF supporters at Al Husseiniya Palace, Queen Rania lauded donors' support of JRF's mission and its empowerment of women, saying that an investment in women is also an investment in their families and communities. Since its establishment in 1995, JRF has launched numerous socio-economic projects for women, providing employment and training opportunities to enhance their livelihoods. To sports, where flight and flair were on show at the car jumping championship in West Sussex, the UK. A dozen drivers put their foot down in an attempt to clear a lineup of beaten-up cars at the local raceway. Nick Warder emerged the winner, driving an old Audi and successfully clearing the lineup by the largest distance to walk away from his wreck with £50. And finally, for a quick look at the weather, a slight rise in temperature is expected, creating pleasant conditions across the kingdom, with a chance for light showers in the northern and central parts of the country. Amman tomorrow can expect a high of 21 degrees Celsius and a low of 12 degrees. Further south in the Gulf of Aqaba, relatively hot conditions are expected, with daytime temperatures at 31 degrees, dropping down to 23 at night. And with this, we come to the end of this edition of the news. I'm Alia Tuqan. Thank you for joining us and have a good night.